Oh, hello there.
Pete and Allie here with Thursday Night Wings.
It's wing night, baby.
It's wing night, baby. We have torn ourselves away from the Yankee game.
Field of Dreams. They're in Iowa.
It looks
was
pretty
really
cool.
Yeah,
it looks
really cool.
It looks pretty neat. I actually ended up wandering into our room and the game was on. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like a stadium that I know.
And at the beginning of the game, they had the teams coming out through the corn. It was neat.
Stop it.
They did. It was cool. It was cool.
Okay, let's
cool.
Yes, but you have to think for a minute about the fact that in order for them to come out of the corn, they basically told them all just walk 20 feet into the corn.
That was they had this moment where they were walking the corn. It was cool until they did the blimp shot.
And then they're all waiting 20 feet in the corn.
There was because there's the corn, but then there's an obvious access kind of walkway behind the corn, and so you literally could see them all standing in the access walkway, waiting to walk through. So I was come on, why are you showing that? You're ruining the whole the whole ambiance. This is why you need to be produced, and things need a little bit of production. Seth, hello, how are you? Bedtime story. You did do a bedtime story this week. We were ready. I greatly enjoyed that. So that was really cool. Disney Pin Love, hello. How are you? Canada. How are things in Canada? Fun fact, one time I convinced him that Canada mints, do you remember this? I do.
Are pronounced Canada mints.
Okay.
And yeah,
I didn't know better.
No, but yeah, I tend to go through phases of candy, of snacks,
treats, yes.
And I'm super obsessed with something for about a month. And so there was a good month where I was obsessed with Canada mints. William, hello, how are you? Very, very, very warm welcome to you. How are you doing? So yeah, we just started by saying that we were watching the Yankees versus White Sox game in the Field of Dreams. Yeah. And it was neat. It was interesting.
And they were wearing the oldie time uniforms.
Well, for the Yankees, I mean...
Yeah, they're not.
It's not like they have all sorts of things. Yes, hello, Ire Girl. How are you? Welcome from Ireland. So we have, at this point, we have the United States, we have Canada, we have Ireland. William, am I remembering correct that you are from England? Is memory serving here? Yes. Happy travel vlogs. Hello, Anna. Hello. So yeah, we're trying to figure out how many countries. This is kind of exciting. We have 4 countries represented. If you are from
a world showcase.
Look at you.
Yes. See?
Yes. Okay, so now we need Morocco and we need Italy.
We need a lot. We still need a lot. Norway.
We're
Norway
starting.
Out there?
We're getting there. So yeah. So we're gonna start with just hi. How are you? How was your week? Our week was all right since we last joined you for Thursday Night Wings. Yes. We met some new teachers because I am hello Jesse, how are you? I am a mentor, everybody. I'm a mentor in my district. And so basically what that means is when new teachers come into the building, I, help them out with lessons, help them out with where you order dry erase markers, and so all the little nuts and bolts that go into teaching and the workings of our building. I'm his mentor.
Yeah, I'm switching buildings, so I'm going from the middle school to the high school, and so she's my mentor.
I am.
So I was going to ask you any questions anyway, so.
Well, yeah, but now I'm official. Now I am official, and I might have already said in a bit of raised tone, you have to listen to me, I'm your mentor. So, for what it's worth, we start our in-service next week, and then the kiddos come in on the 23rd. Have any of you started school yet? Because we're in the Northeast, we're in Pennsylvania, so we're a little bit later. I think Florida is back. I know Arizona is back.
There's some schools around here that won't start until after Labor Day.
Where do they start in Canada and Ireland? How does that back to school actually work? School around the world. Hello, Mouse and Mama. How are you? We're talking about back to school. So we are starting officially with our kiddos on the 23rd.
Yes.
And so we were just wondering, we have people from Ireland in here, Canada in here, so we wanted to find out about school around the world because as two teachers, back to school is very, very central in
Yes.
our lives and in our house. September 13th.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. When you start September 13th, when do you get out? Because we, I think, go until like the first week of June. Hello, Siskateers. How are you? I hope house hunting went very well.
See,
so
we're-
hopefully, fingers crossed.
We're actually done early this year. We're done the Friday before Memorial Day this year. The 27th of May.
Huh.
Yeah, we're
That
done-
seems
yeah.
like a very, very far way
Way
away.
away.
Okay, so Ontario starts September. Okay, September 6th.
Okay.
We used to start. I'm going to open this window up a little bit more. We used to start after Labor Day, traditionally, in Pennsylvania. And then maybe, 15, 20 years ago?
School,
They
more and more
started.
schools started going
that-
before Labor Day.
Okay, Seth, August 18th. So you guys are Monday? Yeah. Wednesday.
Yeah, so
because
next
that's
week.
our first.
Yeah.
That's right, Seth, and you are at a community college, so that you teach. You teach too. Look at all of us teachers.
Math
Look
teacher.
at all of
Did I
us
hear right?
education
Math teacher?
people.
Was Seth a math teacher?
So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Math.
Yes. That's his response to everything. When in doubt, math.
I
So,
always ask my
Siskateers, you
kids,
started-
I know this, how many of you, this is your least favorite class? And like half of them raise their hand. I'm like, all right, the rest of you are lying.
Whatever. I teach English, and so the other half of them raise their hands in my class. So it doesn't.
But Seth, you know, math, it's the way to go.
All right, so welcome everybody. I hope if you have started school, I hope that if you are in the process of getting ready for school, that it is seamless. Susan, how are you? Welcome. Montana. Isn't it wonderful, Susan? Like, you don't even have to worry about the whole thing. We're slowly but surely getting to that point where we have to worry about us, obviously.
Yeah.
But as far as
We've
kids.
been turning around more and more and being like, this is it. This is
it.
This is what it's going to be.
This is it. The other night, we watched a documentary and we had takeout. So that
was our
exciting Friday night.
Date night.
There
Friday
you go.
date night at home. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Jesse, get ready. There is assuredly a Tigger in this box, and so we are going to find out. So, okay, so Ireland is in September. So we're all getting there. Fingers crossed for a good year all. Disney news. We literally an hour ago watched What If. Did you take notes on your phone?
Not on What If.
No?
I've got another nugget.
Okay.
Another Disney nugget. to
Peep
share.
nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Researching on my phone.
So, how many of you have seen What If? The first episode. I don't necessarily want to spoil it too much because it literally just came out yesterday. So, we just watched it. The first episode, it's 3?
I think so. 3 episodes?
I know of 3.
4 maybe? There's only one released
4.
now.
Yeah, one is released now. The first episode, it's basically Marvel Multiverse. Now, I will freely admit, hello, Emily, how are you? I just mailed your package today. So mochi and pins are on their way. Very exciting. Just mailed it today, so it's coming. We are talking What If. I am a very casual, even though, I picked the shirt. I'm a very, very casual Marvel fan. This one
I'm more of
remembers everything.
Yeah, more of a comic booky nerd. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a big stretch where I got him the Walking Dead comic book series.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. With the only 3 episodes, there's a lot of production that went into this. That's what I'll say. So for those of you who don't know, the premise is basically, what if a timeline goes another way? What if there's a choice that happens that results in a timeline going a different way? So the first episode is all about what if Peggy becomes Captain America instead of Steve Rogers.
Yes.
Yes.
And one of the things I liked about it
broadly, because there are people who have not seen it.
One of the things that I liked about it is that they do make parallels to the movies. So it's all of a sudden it's like, here's this scene, and it was in the movie, but it's now different.
Okay, so
it's taken in a different direction, but you obviously like, oh, that happened in the movie, but it's different now, which is kind of cool.
Here's what I will say as a casual fan. One of the things that I wrote down was, what did I write down? You need more than a bit of casual Marvel fandom to appreciate it because of those Easter eggs.
Yeah, I
I got the broad Easter eggs. But some of the times, like, it's him, it's Mary's boyfriend, who's also a very big Marvel fan. And so some of the times, they were all like, oh! And I just didn't, there's a lot of nuance, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and so there, like, at one point she said, oh, that was in the movie. But that was, like, the third or fourth time that had happened. So it was like, I think you're right. If you don't have as in-depth, it's not that you won't enjoy it. It's just a lot of those Easter eggs you won't necessarily pick up on.
And this might be sacrilege, so hold on. I don't necessarily like that they started with Captain America. I get that Captain America, I am not necessarily the biggest Captain America person out there. Oh, he's raising his eyebrows. I am not necessarily the biggest Captain America person out there. And so, like, those are my least, besides the Incredible Hulk. Like, we can all agree, Incredible Hulk, right? Like, we can,
yeah? Good.
Okay.
You skip the Incredible Hulk.
Okay. But Captain America is just, he's looking at me. Captain America, I think, is such a, like, kind of a thing. It just, I'm excited for Black Panther as Guardians because I like that humor as opposed to just like war fighting the new Nazis.
I mean, I guess the part of it is like he's the first.
How am I going to tag that, by the way?
He's the first Avenger, so I think it's kind of like, all right, what would since he's the first Avenger, what would the Avengers look like?
But it wasn't what the Avengers would look like. It was what would Captain America look like. I will also say that I don't like that because Peggy, and again, Seth, let me know how you feel about this. I don't like that because it was Peggy that literally 4 of the jokes was, hey, it's a dame. Like 4.
Yeah.
From 4 separate. This is not even me on a pedestal, but 4 separate characters did the oh my gosh, it's a girl. Girls can't do anything joke.
Yeah. I agree with you with that. Yeah.
Thank you, Emily. Emily understands. Ha.
I mean, you're talking to the guy that my favorite Avenger's Thor, so.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool too. But I guess they sort of have been there, like literally. But doing the Thor Loki thing would have been a cool bridge from Loki into this concept.
Here's what I'll say, and kind of broaden it to what if Loki, WandaVision, Falcon Winter, the whole everything that we've seen so far on Disney Plus,
which is a lot. My brain, I don't.
I think we're getting close to like everything kind of like they're setting the stage for a bunch of stuff that we're now gonna have to kind of like. We're getting very close
Seth,
to the
it was in where I know we were in the 40s. I know. Maybe they should have more female writers. I don't know. I get it. Okay, continue.
I think we're getting to the point where like we're gonna like we eventually had Thanos and this like overarching conflict for the whole universe. I think they're trying to still build that up. And we're getting to that point where it's gonna, all these different stories are gonna come together a little bit more, and it's gonna make a little more sense.
Okay.
And there's gonna be a little more continuity. It's not gonna be as confusing,
okay,
or as scattershot.
Okay. Okay. And I guess when that happens, like, I think we've said this before, but we began our Marvel journey with Infinity War.
We literally were like. One night she was like, "Oh, Infinity War's in Redbox. Like everyone says that's an awesome movie. Why don't we rent it?"
And we did.
And we were like, "This is amazing. We have to watch all of them now."
Mm-hmm.
And it was like we knew we had a year to get through all of them before Endgame came out because our goal was like we wanted to try to see Captain Marvel in the theaters, but if we didn't, we definitely wanted to see Endgame in the theaters. And so we're like, "All right, let's start watching them." And so it was like, all right, when is this one on TV? When is this one going to be in Redbox? And we were like watching all. It was like a year-long journey. Yeah.
You know what's happening? You know what? I just had the idea. You know what would have been neat if there would have been, because there's like World War II. Yes, it's a time in the 40s of you had a bunch of the men in America going out to fight. But it's, not to like branch off into history too much, but then you also had the time of women who were leaving the home and working outside of the home. So it would have been neat or a good additional perspective to, I think, like bring that in. I can show this to my AP kids, and then we'll do like a what if on a what if. Oh, I should write this down. I'm going to write this down.
And while you're writing the thing, because I made note of it too, I was like, the first time they told the joke, I was like, okay. And my problem with it was not that the joke was there as much as the joke was there and then kept coming back, as opposed to like, hey, we made the joke, but one of the most obvious differences, besides
Lauren, we're talking Marvel. Have you seen What If? And I'm sure you are going to talk about it, so we're not going to belabor the points. But we're talking about the lack of female voices in the first episode. Basically, how they did the joke of she's a girl, girls can't do this, girls don't know anything. They made that joke like 4 times.
And that was the thing that got me. Not that they made the joke, because that's an obvious difference between the two characters, but that they made the joke and then they kind of just let it sit there, and then they made it like 2 or 3 more times, and again, just kind of let it sit there.
And then when she like conquers everybody, it's like, oh, I guess girls can do that. So yeah, I get it, but I'm gonna totally do that with my AP kids. Get ready, AP kids. Get ready. I'm sure they're all watching. So here's what we would say. I thought it was interesting. I also think that it will be interesting where they go with it. And you started with Endgame. Yeah. So you understand. And it will be interesting to see where they go with it. I said that I am excited for the Black Panther as Star-Lord because, I mean, you have
Chadwick Boseman. It was the last thing he ever did.
Yeah. So that entire story just, that gets me. But I also like that the Guardians are such a funny, sarcastic kind of a part of the franchise that it'll be really interesting to see what they do with
I'm interested to see what they do with it too, because I just rewatched Guardians, the first one, the other day, and just the way they use the style of it and the music, where you literally in the first like 5 seconds of seeing the characters, you know who they are. Which is really cool.
Yeah, they use music.
Like,
I love.
It's all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, this is a Guardians thing. Like and so I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah. Hello, Perfectly Cat. How are you? Welcome, Lauren. You would love my AP class. Oh my gosh, I was just planning the first lesson. We're gonna do ink blots to talk about. It's all about how writers and creators of things, how they use their speeches, their art, their pieces of writing to communicate messages, and how people write and create with the audience in mind. So we're going to start with ink blots, and kids are going to interpret Rorschach's ink blots, which have they're just ink blots, and then they're going to start creating their own with this idea that things have meaning behind them. And so anyway, rhetorical triangle. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Sorry. I started like talking, teaching, and talking shop, and all of a sudden, like, people's eyes glaze over. This is the
other thing. People don't believe it's like, this is what we do. Like, what do you guys talk about school like at home? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We plan out and talk about school.
We do.
But,
and now I have What If. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Welcome. We just were talking about What If. Pete and I just watched it tonight. My thing is, to wrap it up, I'm excited where they go with it, and I will definitely give it another chance. Being that I'm not the biggest Captain America fan, it didn't necessarily like grab me by the shoulders and shake me.
And I just like all the Marvel stuff anyway.
Yeah.
I like it's the next.
Hello, Mary. How are you?
I like it's the next thing, because then the next couple movies are going to come out, and the next shows, and so
there's a lot coming out. That's the other thing, is that I am not necessarily a long game kind of a girl. Like when I got to the end, we have never watched Game of Thrones. We have read Game of Thrones. Hello, Karen. How are you? Welcome. We have never watched Game of Thrones. We both read it, but by the end, there's just so much. Well, what is going to be the end? Because that Winds of Winter is never coming out. I've accepted this. That being said. Okay. So, what if? Now, you have some Disney Universe news.
And so
he's very excited. He's got his phone. He took notes
this was
on his phone. I know, Lauren. I know. Wait, let's pause. Okay. Who's my favorite? Who's my favorite Marvel character? Who's all your favorite Marvel characters?
I thought you said Iron Man.
I do like Iron Man. Actually, I do. I like Iron Man.
You are kind of a Tony Stark, kind of like you've got a really good heart in the end. Like you do want to protect everyone, but she's kind of smart sometimes. Kind of like Tony is.
A little rough around the edges.
She can be a little rough around the edges, but when she is, I'm like her pepper. So it's like I know she likes me, so I'm good with it.
Yeah. And then yours is Thor.
100% Thor. 100% Thor. Yeah.
You are. You have a heart of hope.
Oh no! My favorite character is Thor. Okay. I'm definitely Peter Quill. I'm 100% Peter Quill.
And I am the Gamora.
And she's Gamora. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. If I'm an actual one of the characters in Marvel Universe, I'm Peter Quill 100%.
Yes, he to the point of like trying to get me to dance with him. And I do not, as much as I like choreograph for children, I do not dance. When I try to teach them dance, I will look at one of my kids who can dance, and then I'll like say, I'll try and do whatever's in my brain. They'll be like, oh, okay, and then they'll interpret it.
Oh, and here's a story about why
Rocket, yes. Lyric, welcome, Iron Man.
Here's a story about how I'm Peter Quill. Right? So you meet Peter Quill in the first Guardians movie because he's all of a sudden he's getting the opening scene with the Infinity Stone, and he's getting the orb, and he grabs the animal and he's singing, and he's got the headset on, right? We had to live stream our classes this past year, and one of the things we had was a headset. And so at certain points we had in-person kids and at-home kids on the screen.
For me, every class.
And I'm teaching.
It was great. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and the kids can hear me on the mic at home while I'm teaching in class. And I'm teaching something, and then all of a sudden I'm helping them. And all of a sudden, my one kid, Braden, he all of a sudden goes, I hear him in here, Mr. Clark, what you singing? And I had no idea. He's like...
He sings all the time.
And he was like, and can you sing Hamilton for us? I was like, sure, I know most of those words. And so I start like singing, and he's like, and again, he's in my ear, and like the rest of the class can't even hear what he's saying.
So all they hear is his side of the conversation.
Yeah, okay. And so like I was singing on mic, like so I'm Peter Quill, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
You are. Ooh, I see Iron Man. I see Hawkeye. Let's see, Lauren.
Aiden is Hawkeye.
Captain Thor. Ant-Man. That's a good one, too. And we also need to talk about, like, the agelessness of Paul Rudd. Yeah. That man, I don't know where his like Horcruxes are hidden, but he is not aging. Yeah, so he's like 50 we're all just okay with this. Like, we don't want to examine it any further. Okay.
All right, back to my Disney news.
Back to his news.
So this came across literally like while we were thinking about what we were going to talk about for tonight, because they had the third quarter stockholders like conference call, and Bob Chapek was on, and they started talking about Disney Genie. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, they announced this like years ago at the D23 convention.
I just got the tracks. It took me a second. He says he's going to stand perfectly still so we won't see him, and then eat the chips. All right, continue. Anyway, I've interrupted you like 4 times now.
So they announced this years ago, this Disney Genie, and no one really knew what it was, but it was like a Disney app, and they said it was going to take your Disney trip planning to the next level, and it was basically going to help you plan your trip and make it efficient and help you get to see all the things you wanted to see. They announced, Bob Chapek talked about it today, and there were 2 quotes that he said. First, he said, guests will spend less time in line and more time having fun. And Chapek discussed the guest-centric services that Disney has been developing for years, and it related it to both the Magic Key Pass program that is out at Disneyland and the upcoming Genie app. And then he said what the Disney Genie app will do is use consumer preferences, given what we know from them, blended with industrial engineering data based on how our park is operating that day to make suggestions on the fly. And he noted that it will lead to substantial commercial opportunities, which a lot of people were basically saying,
oh my goodness,
stuff you can buy and pay for.
I will say, they text you a lot when you're in the parks. Like it's like stalkery.
And your location with the location services on, where they know, like, oh, we see that you're by like Storybook Treats. If you want to go get go try mobile order,
they do that now.
Something. Yeah.
They do that. They do that now. So I can imagine that the Genie will be just that on fleek, as the kids say.
So here's
they
what
don't say that
here's what I think, and here's some of the rumors that I've heard that some other people have hypothesized on. I think it will, in some way, shape, or form, sort of replace Fast Passes.
Yeah, I don't think Fast Passes are coming.
In that, I think a lot of it will be, you might get suggestions of, hey, you can go on this ride now because it's got a shorter wait time.
Yeah.
One of the rumors that some people suggest is that it may link into some way of having a pay Fast Pass system similar to either what's out at Disneyland Paris or what Max Pass, which had been out at Disneyland in California, or somewhere in between.
Here's a question for the group, okay? So, they bring Fast Passes. They bring paid Fast Passes? Paid Fast Passes to the parks. They bring it to Disneyland. They bring it to Disney World. Let's assume that it is not complimentary. We think it's going to be complimentary with hotel stays.
With hotel
That's
stays.
what we think. We think it's going to be a hotel perk.
My biggest prediction is that they've always wanted to keep you on property if they can.
Yeah.
And the reason they got rid of Magical Express is because with like Uber and all that, it's a lot easier to get off property and stay off property. So I think that Fast Pass is somehow going to be linked to you get it when you're staying on property, whether that's, hey, it's Modern above or every resort.
Yeah. Would you, if it's extra, would you pay for Fast Passes?
And how much?
Okay there, Genie Man. Would you pay for Fast Passes? And how much?
I think if it's, because, and Lauren, you would know because you're one of the Disneyland folks. I think Max Pass was like $20 per person per day. I think that's like for unlimited.
For unlimited.
I think that's reasonable. If you start getting into like the $50, $60, $70 a person per day.
Yeah.
I think that gets to, because if you're going for, say, 5 days and you're going to spend an extra $100, like that's actually not a bad amount of money if you consider, like, hey, I might be able to not have to spend an extra day's worth of ticket prices, or I might be able to see more. I don't think that's not a too bad of a point.
Lauren, a question for you. When they did Max Pass at Disneyland, was it walk on every time? Because sometimes with the Fast Pass, you will get like maybe a 10-minute wait, maybe. Okay, so Lauren says if they do it like Disneyland, Lyric says no.
Lisa, that's a good point. I think it's going to matter a lot when you go, too. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, Lyric, if they do it per ride, absolutely not.
Yeah, if it's like
absolutely not.
If you guys haven't, because I can't remember if we talked about it all.
If they do it per ride, you all email us and we'll tell you exactly what we do to get on every single ride. Like when we went in June, they didn't have squat and we got on everything that we wanted to.
If you guys haven't seen it, that's what Disneyland basically in Paris has basically implemented, where it's varied based on the rides, and I don't think
Lauren
it's
says
cheap.
it's pretty much walk on.
And I don't think it's cheap. I think that some of the rides were like $5 to $15 per ride in Paris. It's like it's expensive, but you pay per person per day per ride, and again, it's somewhere depending on the ride, somewhere between the $5 and $15 per ride. And especially
That's
whoever
lot.
Lyric, like you said, for a family, if you've got a family with kids,
Right.
that adds up extremely fast.
Okay, so Lauren, you can walk onto Guardians using Maps
okay.
Pass. Okay, that's a good barometer of
Like
where
you
it
can
is.
get on the e-ticket rides.
Now, what I just thought of was we have actually, when they used to do like the early morning magic passes. So what they would do, this was back in when we first started vlogging in like 2019. You would pay, it was what, like $60 a person?
The Toy Story one we did was like, it was maybe $60, maybe $70. Yeah.
It wasn't 70. It wasn't any more than like $60 a person. So they would open the Toy Story Land area of the park for the people who paid, and you would get in like an hour and a half before. Hello, Melic Adventures, how are you? We were talking about paying for fast passes, basically, and whether or not we'd do it. So you would get an hour and a half in Toy Story Land, and you would get breakfast at the end of it when the park actually opened. So we got on like 5-ish rides.
Yeah,
we did.
We did the Toy Story one.
Yeah.
We didn't do it, but they used to have one in Fantasyland.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember if
with a terrible breakfast. Oh, the breakfast was awful.
Yeah.
You used to have to go to raid the Cosmic Cafe. Oh, it was terrible.
But the Toy Story one was fantastic. It was when. It was before Star Wars Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, because we have a shot in one of our vlogs of Pete, like, up on the construction wall, just, like, longingly looking into Galaxy's Edge. He just walked off one time. It's the best. You have to go to our 2019, July 2019. He just walks off.
But we went...
Pepper has entered the chat.
We went, and you got in at, like, 7:30, and then the park opened at, like, 9. But the thing was, they left the breakfast open until 10.
Right.
So what we did was, and it was perfect. We went right in. We rode all the rides.
That was a good breakfast.
We actually went and I think did something on Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, we did.
And then at the tail end of the breakfast,
we slide on in.
You slide on in. We got our breakfast. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was good. It would be interesting, Lyric, if there was like different prices for different levels. But we'll see. But I think that they are going to use this new genie to very much make a concerted effort to like flow people around the park.
Like, hey, have you considered I see you're interested in this ride. Have you tried this now? Or I could even see them where they're talking about like industrial engineering data, saying, hey, we anticipate that in the next hour this ride's time is going to go. Like they're going to have that data more now and be able to make anticipation. Like, hey, if you wait 2 hours, you're going to be able to wait less when you go to blah de blah.
Yeah. I'm not paying tons and tons of money for a fast pass. I'll wake up early. I'll get to park at park opening, or I'll go to park at park close.
I mean, especially like the last trip we just went on. It was we got up early. We'd go to the hotel in the middle of the day, and we'd go back at night. And I would rather do that and take that pace than to sit there and say, hey, I'm going to pay extra money.
There's either potentially Mary is leaving, or, if you hear Pepper just barking and barking, someone's breaking in. Either or. It's great. No, it's okay. We're live streaming. Just take whatever you need. So,
what's the longest you would wait for a ride?
That's a really good question, Mary. The longest we have ever waited for a ride is 2 hours for Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
I think 2 hours
right after it
is about the limit. And it would also be something for, like, I would wait 2 hours for Flight of Passage. I would wait 2 hours for Rise of the Resistance. No problem. My favorite ride, I was going to say my favorite ride is Toy Story Mania. And so I would wait like an hour to go on Toy Story Mania. If it's like a level of like Small World, if it's even Buzz Lightyear, I won't, like half an hour is kind of that's how long for like that tier of ride. Like Big Thunder, I'd wait an hour. Space Mountain, I'd wait an hour. Splash Mountain, I'd wait an hour.
I would say, when it gets up over an hour, that's when, especially when we're touring, and it gets over an hour, like, that's when we start looking at, all right, what else can we do? Can we figure out something else? Can we wait towards the end of the day?
Yeah. And Our Girl, you're right. I mean, the fact that paying for park tickets might not, like, get you on everything is a crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, that you pay $100 a day to get into the park, and then there's just stuff on stuff, like on top of that cost. But again, as the people who are trying to figure out when we can next get down there, we are not going to get, we said this last week, I think, we're not going to get to see Happily Ever After again. This is hurting my heart. This is hurting my heart a great deal, she hints. This is hurting my heart. But I also saw something about like some like holiday, like magical thing. They called it something weird. But some holiday thing. On that note, we also are not people who will pay for like the Not So Scary or the very
we've
Christmas
never
party.
done. We've never done.
I don't like those after hours. We thought about the Villains one at one point, but we don't. I mean, we're there. We can do a lot in a day. Anyway.
But it seems like that's what they're moving more towards, is
I
having
know.
more of those offerings, the like after hour stuff and the before hour stuff. So.
Yeah. Hello, Veronica. How are you? Welcome. We have talked about What If, the new Marvel series on Disney Plus. We just finished talking about paid fast passes. John, Mary, I know. And I don't know how we do it. I'm not going to get to see Happily Ever After again. I fully understand that I fully understand that we are very, 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 very fortunate. So thank you for bringing me back for grounding me, Mary. My Mary does the same thing. All right, so on Saturday we are making another outlet trip. If you have not yet been to our Instagram, _tiny_wings. We have up there some of the things that we found from our last outlet trip. I think we just went last week. The time in August is doing
Friday,
really weird things on me. There are some really, really, really cool pins. I have a list. I think we're trying to become a little bit more deliberate in what we collect as far as pins, and so I'm picking Baymax and Wally. Baymax and Wally and Eva, and so there are some pins there. It is really hard when you think about like the whole Disney universe.
Yeah, like I know I like Tigger, and I've got a bunch of Tigger pins.
We've got a bunch of the same Tigger pins.
But I know that I like collecting those. I like collecting the different Figment pins. I've got a bunch of those.
Oh, that's a good one to collect, too.
I like the Figment pins.
Yeah, that's a really good one to collect.
I like the attraction. I like when I got like attraction park type pins. I like those. But there's so many pins out there to try to figure out like.
There's so many. And Lauren, we watched your pin unboxings. I'm so glad you like the pins. You picked some solid ones. I'm not going to spoil it because I'm not going to blow up your spot for the video. I can't wait to see what you got. But you have the best pin collection. We watch your pins all the time. We're like, So you're going to collect Tigger, you think?
Tigger, Figment. And then I got to kind of think, like, I like attraction stuff. I like
that's okay. So maybe we'll do, like broader themes.
Yeah. And I like stuff that's unique. Like my favorite pin, the favorite pin that I have right now is the Mystic the Mystic Manor Tokyo Disneyland or not Tokyo. I'm sorry, Hong Kong Disneyland pin. It's a big one. Mystic Manor pin, which is their like haunted mansion. It's my favorite pin, and I wore it in the parks, and there were like multiple cast members like, where the heck did you get that? That's like from Hong Kong. I was like, oh, we got it in a box. So
cool. Mary, it does have ornaments. So check out our Instagram, and I'll make sure on Saturday when we go to post some pictures of ornaments. They were like in the $12 to $15 range, and then we do it's $5 for up to $20. $25 and then $10 up to like $75 as far as pickups go, plus shipping, plus sales tax, so all that fun stuff. On that note, we also go to Burlington, and so we have some cool stuff that like we've actually just we've gotten from Burlington just because it's really good deals. So if any of you are interested in these things, you can email us. We have the cutest little Mickey Waffle Wishable. What we'll do is we'll just add $1 to these prices plus shipping. So this was $2.99. Okay, so this is $3.99. And then we have so many socks because these socks are awesome. We have 10 pairs of socks. We have mini socks. I know we should Instagram. I know I don't think that they allow like filming, so I don't. I don't
Yeah,
want
our
one
Disney's-
of my life accomplishments to be getting kicked out of a Disney
Yeah,
outlet.
our Disney outlet that's close to us is the one that does.
Yeah, they
doesn't let you
don't.
film
They don't
inside.
let you film. So maybe we'll go to like the Hershey one at some point. But Minnie Mouse socks. All of these packs of 10 socks, we got them for $6.99, so they are $8. So a pack of 10 Minnie Mouse socks.
Find your wild. These are all like animal printy.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a bunch of villain socks because, sometimes your feet have to be bad. Why Disney doesn't use me for their slogans. And then these are so cute. These are like blues and grays and oranges. And this is Winnie the Pooh. So we have Winnie the Pooh socks. These are all $8. $8 for 10 socks. And here, this is, how many are these? These are 1, 2, 3. These are 5 pairs of socks. This is all the child. So this is $3.99. So this is $4.99.
Now these two are cool because these are both park items, actually.
Oh, yeah, and this is nuts. So these socks are like, what, $10, $12 in the parks?
I think, yeah.
They are $3. So for you, $4 plus shipping. These are best day ever.
And this is that cherry. I've seen this on other stuff. The cherry Mickey head
Yes.
pattern is on a bunch of other stuff in the parks too.
So what we will do, we will put all of these on our Instagram in advance of Saturday's adventures. If you are interested, shoot us an Instagram message @2_tiny_wings. And there you go. They're neat. And if not, I just have a ton of socks for school and nothing could make me happier.
And some off to Mary at school.
So, the Big Feet plush characters. That's a good, yeah. We have not looked at the plushes too much. We've looked a lot at the pins. They have ears a lot of the times.
They had I remember the one plush, they had the Mickey Mouse ear plush. They had that. And
Yeah.
There's a couple other of the plushes they had. Yeah.
So anyway, the way that it works is we'll start, last time we started at 11:20. You have until 1 p.m. Eastern to let us know if you like anything. We will happily pick it up and send it to you. So, anywho, let's get to the final thing for today. If you haven't seen our latest unboxing, we were going through, we have all of the pins for upcoming things we were organizing, as one does. All of a sudden, we found one little Winnie the Pooh pin left.
It's like a
We
play
have
in 3
Mary
like a
will
play
look
in
for,
3
will look
acts,
for
right?
stitches. Right. This is the denouement, which means the end, the resolution, children. That was that's like teacher Mr. I do that all the time. The Pooh socks, all of these socks, let's see. Jesse, the Pooh socks these are all sizes, they fit sizes 4 through 10. So, all of them fit sizes 4 through 10. And they're so cute. They're so cute. They're all so cute. They're so cute. So, we have one more Tigger to unbox. For those of you who haven't seen the saga that is our 11 billion Tiggers, we have 11 billion Tiggers. But the good news is we basically have everything else in this set. Who do we need yet? We need Eeyore yet, and we need the Sparkle Chaser. I know, Karen. It's like we're just gonna be digging out.
Let me recount what happened. We were we've got it's just like a little drawer, and it was like some different of the pin boxes that we've gotten, stuff that we can open up. And I was like, oh, what can we open up? And I was looking for something for the other day, and all of a sudden I was like, what the?
Lord's telling us not to manifest. He said, don't even talk about Tigger.
And she's like, what? I was like, there's another Tigger box in here. She's like, no, there's not. I was like, here it is.
I didn't even say. I said, so help me.
So there it is. So here it is.
All right, people. You can do it. I can't even.
I'm not even trying to predict what's in here. We're just opening it up.
Everybody,
we're just opening up.
We're gonna send things out into the universe. Okay?
Are you ready?
Yup.
Not Tigger,
but Kanga.
but a Kanga. That was episode 1 of this whole thing was 20 of these guys. Episode 2 was 20 of those guys. So we're back to episode 1.
Gosh. So you're going to have a Tigger lanyard. Yes, Mary, we will definitely. There is again, we start school in a week, and so we're getting lanyard hooks, and so we are going to fill up a lanyard of Tiggers, and then I will have a lanyard with all of these Kangas. Dream with Cleo, welcome. It is, you have to. I think that the video when we unboxed, like the last Winnie the Pooh video unboxing, pin unboxing that we did, I think that might be, besides racing Mary and Aiden to monorail, or Skyliner versus them walking, that unboxing might be one of the funniest things that we've let you into as far as
that and these multiple times. Now that I'm teaching Aiden how to drive a real vehicle,
that's what's happened in the past week.
Check out to know what that stress has been like. Watch several of our trip vlogs have me riding in the Tomorrowland Speedway with young Aiden.
Oh, I'm going to do. Lisa, definitely, we have trainers. Definitely check out all of our Magic Kingdom. The first time, like, there's usually a Tomorrowland Speedway where Aiden always drives. We always make him drive. And I need to do a master cut of, like, just Aiden over the years because it's so funny.
Because he's like, what's
and then he keeps going, wee, as he's, like, going back and forth. Oh, it's the best. Oh, it is so funny. Hello, Leanne. How are you? Welcome. We are talking about the experience of driving with an early teen, a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old on the Tomorrowland Speedway.
The boy got his permit, and so.
Yes.
But here's the fun part, because I always like to keep them on their toes. So when I teach the kids how to drive, all right, we're going to go into the parking lot. I did this to Mary. Circle around the parking lot, and then all of a sudden I was like, all right, drive across this. There's a street, and there's another parking lot across the street. Drive across the street, and then without warning them, all right, we're going to drive home now, because it's maybe half a mile from the parking lot to our house. What?
But it's on like a real road.
It's on like a real road. Like, I mean, we're out in the country, so it's not super busy, but it's a real road.
Busy enough.
We had an added thing this year. We pull into the parking lot, and we're not there more than a minute, and this man and a elderly woman pull into the parking lot, and Aiden's like, "What are they doing?" I was like, "I don't know."
It's a parking lot. They're probably going to park somewhere.
The elderly woman gets out from the passenger seat, gets behind the driver's seat, and they switch seats. And you go, "Dad, is he teaching her how to drive?" I was like, "I guess we're going to find out." And the next 15 minutes was like this dance between this elderly woman and Aiden, where she'd be on one side of the parking lot and she'd drive, and we would drive to the other side. And then all of a sudden she'd come that way, and Aiden would drive to the other side. And we were like literally like doing circles around each other.
I could hear like Fantasia music happening.
Aiden's just like, and he's trying to like stay. All right, I was like, "Yeah, you're getting traded, buddy. It's like real cars. We're ready to go." So that was our adventures on the first day behind the wheel of Aiden.
And I will say that he drove us to town one day because we had to go to school. And so he drove, and he picked reasonable music. He kept to a reasonable speed. He was all excited. He's like, "Make Dad sit in the back seat." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna. I'll sit in the back seat." So it was. I didn't normally. I like grab on to the little handle at the top of the seat. I didn't once. Like I didn't do it once. So it was. Oh, the boy is driving, people.
He will, in the mornings he'll drive home from practice, but he won't drive to practice because. When we wake up, he's still not quite awake yet. So we're like, I'll drive to practice, you'll drive home.
So with that wonderful image in your brains, I think that we are going to close things out here. Yeah, I'm like just automatically putting another Kanga on our board. We didn't fill our board. Lisa, send us a message, whether it's Instagram or if you shoot us an email. We will definitely, we are looking for Eeyore. Eeyore is basically like the big one that we're looking for, or like Sparkle Chaser. Yeah. So we'll take Sparkle Chaser, and then we have more Dumbos coming. Yeah. So we have exciting things. Where did we lose a pin? I think we lost a pin.
I think that I might have.
That's great.
Or I might have put that on the lanyard. I think I might have taken it.
So we're gonna go look for a pin. All of you, we should do the same thing, unless we jinxed it. Lauren over at Castles, Capes, and Clones has a live stream.
No, not tonight.
Not tonight? No live stream tonight, Lauren?
No.
Okay. Lauren, is your computer okay? I will ask that because we all, I think I am so sorry for potentially jinxing last week, because last week I'm like, we're gonna do what the kids do. We're gonna do a raid, and so we were all ready with like our little snackies, and we were all ready to go into the live stream and say raid, and then Lauren, your computer world exploded. So I'm sorry, and I hope that it is back. But rest assured, next time you have a raid, we will be there.
100%.
100%. What I will say is I do know that, Karen, are you still planning on doing your live stream on Sunday at 3? Mm-hmm. Karen, at Disney Inside Andy. I will say, again, that your unboxings bring us joy. And if you have not gone to Disney Inside Andy and watched their Cars Wishables unboxing, it makes us smile every single time. So Sunday,
we have another one.
Another one for the backpack. Lauren, I will say, Cousin Rich last week, like just having poor Cousin Rich had no idea that like we were all coming, and so we're all like, yeah, and
he's like, I guess
he's like, all right,
should I just talk? And we're all like, yeah, you should talk.
Like,
why not? We're all here.
So yeah. So Cousin Rich, I mean, just tell him, you know, peep. Like, I don't know. Okay, so Karen, Disney Inside Andy, Sunday, 3 p.m. We hope to see some of you commenting on our pickups on Saturday. If you want to get in touch about our piles of socks or anything you see, definitely shoot us an Instagram message, or you can email us at 2tinywings19@gmail.com. This was fun. We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
Little bit of like little tangential feminism. We talked English lessons. We talked Disney technology.
Talk socks.
We talked socks. So this has been, we've covered many bases. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next week. We will assuredly have more Disney news. We'll have more stories. We'll have more everything. So thank you. Ooh, live unboxings. Oh, we'll be there. Nice. Can't wait. So exciting. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is fun. Yeah. We'll keep doing this.
Yes,
it's really neat. And worldwide. My goodness. So on that note, thank you for liking, thank you for watching, thank you for all your comments, thank you for subscribing. Hit that like button if you have not yet. And with that,
we invite you to set your imaginations free.
Bye.